speak something on the glorification of bhakti. And I also pay my obeisances to all you assembled devotees. Please bless me so that I can speak something worthwhile and which is pleasing to Srila Prabhupada, Guru Parampara, and our presiding deity, Sri Radha Giri Govardhan Dhari. So today I was given the topic of bliss in bhakti. When Prabhupada was on the boat at Jaladuta, going to America, he wrote a poem. In one of the stanzas he says, Bhakti nahi, vedi nahi, khub naam karo, Bhakti Vedanta naam eve sartha karo. So Prabhupada, of course, in all his humility, he said, my name is Bhakti Vedanta. But he says, Bhakti nahi, vedi nahi. He said, I don't have any bhakti. And I don't have any Veda, I don't have any knowledge. So what am I going to do? Khub naam dharo. He says, Bhakti nahi, vedi nahi, khub naam dharo. That means chant the holy name of Krishna more and more and more. And from chanting, bhakti will come and the knowledge will come. And then he prays to Krishna, Bhakti Vedanta Naam Eve Sartha Karo. It means you have to justify the name given to me, Bhakti Vedanta. I have no capacity, I have no bhakti, I have no knowledge. So similarly, when I was given the topic bliss in bhakti, I don't have any bliss. Neither do I have any bhakti. But somehow or the other we have to speak so that we can understand, okay, this is what we are going to. Anyone who's come for the first time or first few times, who are new to the Hare Krishnas, anyone? So all of us have been here regularly. Yes. And many people outside. Maybe outside another class going on. They don't come inside here. Got them now? Many people outside? Not many. They've taken prasadam and left? Yeah. At least they've taken prasadam. So, what we do is we try to, understand the meaning of bliss in bhakti. Yeah? Krishna describes the process of devotional service as susukham kartum agayam. Now, I hope all of you have your devices with you, right? Because I'm going to, there's no screen here, so we're going to refer to our devices. So Krishna says, bhakti is susukham kartum agayam. What is the meaning of that? What is the meaning of susukham? What is the meaning of sukha? Happiness. Happy. After you eat Sundari Sita's prasadam, that means you understand susukham, right? Kartu means to do. Avyayam, what is avyayam meaning? Anyone from Hindi medium?
Spending.
So vyaya is spending.
Yeah.
And avyaya means?
Opposite.
So which doesn't get exhausted.
Yes.
Eternal. So bhakti is something which is joyfully done. You might think Prabhu is going to bore me for next 1 hour, that's fine. But whatever you hear here, it is going to be inexhaustible. Avyayam is going to never finish. And also hopefully I'm going to make it susukham. Yeah? But then again Krishna describes this place as
Dukhalayam.
You said that, I didn't say that. He says Dukhalayam Ashashvatam. So what is the meaning of Dukhalayam?
Place of misery.
Place of misery. Now we are living in a place of misery. Now believe me, the last 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, I've experienced with people, devotees, with people, family, so much of misery going on. So much misery. You will not really understand. We have to really go out of our shells and really understand what is happening in the world. Even I came back from Jagannath Puri, the flights I took. It's just very difficult existence. Dukhalayam ka shashvatam. What is the meaning of ka shashvatam? Shashvat means? Eternal. Shashvatam means? Temporary. So some place where we want happiness, we want bliss, but which is full of misery, which is full of dukkha, and which is temporary. Do we want to be a part of that? No. That's why Bhakti Prabhupada has given us Bhakti. So when we look for rasa means the bliss, the happiness, the mellows in the material world, what happens? Do we really become happy? Our endeavors become frustrating. They become very frustrating. Give me an example. Who can give an example? Come on, someone can give an example of how our endeavors, yes?
Money.
Okay, so how will that money give you frustration? Sorry?
You can continuously go up on money.
Yes. I have a friend who is very rich, and I tell him all your properties are on this Excel spreadsheet. There's no advantage to him. Or he just feels happy that okay, I've got so many properties. So yes, we see when we try to become happy in this material world, our endeavors become frustrated. You can see, one after the other, problems keep on coming, and then they never get sorted out. There is this very nice saying, you please hear me carefully, even if you don't understand it, don't worry. Right? Like we're talking in our school meeting, that children are like sponge. You just tell them and they'll remember it, right? So just become children now. Be like sponge. Material problems do not have material solutions. Can you repeat after me?
Material problems do not have material solutions.
So what sort of solutions do they have? So material problems only have spiritual solutions. So when we are trying to extract this rasa, this mellow, this juice, this happiness, this bliss from material world, we are frustrated, so bhakti comes into picture here. Prabhupada has very kindly given us this rasa, this bhakti is there. Now, if you analyze one's life, how many of you have been coming here for a couple of years? Just 2 people? Yeah, few of us, right? Few of us have been coming for a couple of years, yes? Actually, most of us have been coming here for that long. Yeah? Now, if you analyze, you spend only 3 hours here when you come once a week. The rest of the time you don't got no association at all. Maybe if you're hearing Bhagavatam, half an hour of that, maybe a little chanting here and there. That's all the association is. So actually, that material life is not giving us any rasa. Yeah. Any uni students here? Oh yeah? You think you got fun in the uni? Yeah. Devika, without even hesitating, she said no. So much of stress is there, exams are there, this, that, all the issues. Yeah. Once you come out of uni, then the job issue starts. I want to get a job. So these things go on and on and on. But we are given what we call rasayana. To get the rasa, we get rasayana. And what is the meaning of rasayana? Anyone knows?
Chemical.
Yeah, normally it's called chemical, but in bhakti terms it is called a tonic. It's called a tonic, which actually is invigorating our spiritual life, is increasing our spiritual strength, so that we can understand, yes, this is what it is. Now, when we are in the process of, how many of us are chanting actually every day? Raise your hands, aram se. Please don't hesitate. Yes, many of us are chanting every day. Yes. Now, so this class is for everyone. For newcomers, for people who are not chanting, people who are chanting, people who are initiated, people who are looking for the real depth in Krishna consciousness. For us is here. Because we're going to discuss 2 verses where the phrase Tivrena Bhakti Yogena, you would have heard in 1 verse. Which verse have you heard this phrase? Tivrena Bhakti Yogena? Anyone? Pandits? Plaudits? Pandits? Anyone who knows? Akama sarva kama va moksha kama udaradi tivrena bhakti yogena yachita purusham param. Yeah, so tivrena bhakti yogena, we'll come to that. So when we are looking for happiness in bhakti, we must also look for depth in bhakti. Yeah? And Haridas Thakur, how many of you have not heard of Haridas Thakur? Okay, you've not heard. Anyone else? Because I'm going to, I used to go bushwalking in Papua New Guinea, and we used to be told that you walk at the pace of the slowest walker. Yeah, so I'm going to walk at your pace. Okay? So Haridas Thakur, we have got many stalwart Vaishnava devotees, our predecessor teachers. And Haridas Thakur was one of the very important ones, even though he was born in a Muslim family, but because of his love for the holy name, the chanting of the holy name, he was given the name as Nam Acharya. So he was the Acharya of the holy name. Now, how many of you don't know the meaning of Acharya? The real meaning of word Acharya? Yes, few of us. Okay. So I'm going to speak till 8:30 today, not 7:30. So Acharya means someone who is putting into acharan, putting into practice. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Haridas Thakur that you are a Vaishnava who not only practices what you preach, but you also preach what you practice. That's an Acharya. So we have got many different Acharyas. Prabhupada was, of course, he's our preeminent founder Acharya of ISKCON. Like that. So he's an Acharya who practices and preaches. So Nam Acharya. So Haridas Thakur, he was chanting his holy names with the help of this Rasayana. Rasayana means it's a combination of two very powerful factors. Yeah? When we chant, we've heard this many times. I'm not going to say something which is new. But the advantage is that because we have not heard for 6.5 days, it is nice to hear today again and then go back and again start practicing. Yeah? Because what's the point of coming here if you just come here, take prasadam and go away? You have to take some message from here. So the message today is that when we speak about the Rasayana, the practice of incorporating Rasayana in our bhakti is twofold. One is chanting and the other one is meditating on or remembering of Krishna. So there are specific verses given, which of course we won't have time to go in detail, but there are called Bhakti Rasayana verses, which were spoken by Maharaj Parikshit to Madhanuttara. Sanatana Goswami quotes them in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita. Also Brahmaji has quoted these Bhakti Rasayana verses. So there are different verses which are actually worth meditating upon when we are chanting our rounds. Yeah? We won't go into that now. So now, when we are talking about our own chanting, I'm talking about myself, that when I'm chanting, I'm hardly paying attention. And the ideal position is that when we're chanting, we should be also, of course Prabhupada said, just try to hear yourself chant sincerely. What did Prabhupada say?
Try to hear you chant sincerely.
Once again?
Try to hear you chant sincerely.
So we're trying to hear ourselves chant sincerely. But then when we progress in bhakti, as many of us are chanting for many years, even for someone beginner, this helps. That when we are chanting, we are not only trying to hear the name, but also trying to meditate on our relationship with Krishna. Because otherwise we'll be chanting and not remembering Krishna at all. Then will our chanting will have any life and substance? If you're not thinking of Krishna, not remembering Krishna, just chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Will our chanting have life and substance? No. So it's better that we chant the holy name. That's one portion of the Rasayana. And the second one is meditate on or remember the Lord. His name, His pastimes, His abode. Many leelas He has performed. And when we speak on Bhagavatam, a lot of the pastimes are there, and then we can focus on that. Right now we are covering Damodar Leela. We just about to finish Damodar Leela in our Bhagavatam studies. So wonderful pastime happens, and then you can meditate upon that. That how the Lord, even though He is the greatest of all, but still He is the sweetest of all. Right? Because a person who's great, maybe you might like that person, but a person who's great and sweet, you want to be with that person, you want to serve that person, you want to love that person. So Krishna is like that. Now I'm going to quote you one verse which is going to be a homework verse, right? For next week when you come back. Even if I'm not taking the class, but I'll still ask the homework. So please repeat after me. Smartavyaha satatam Vishnu. So first word is Smartavyaha. Smartavyaha means, what is the meaning of Smartavyaha? So the word comes from, which word? What word? Smriti or Smaran. Smriti or Smaran. So Smartavyaha. Next is, what do you mean Satatam? Constantly. And who? Vishnu or Krishna. So Smartavyaha Satatam Vishnu. So we have to always remember Krishna. So can someone repeat what I said? Okay, once again. Smartavyaha Satatam Vishnu. Vismartavya na jatu chit. So Smartavya is remembering what Vismartavya means. Vismartavya na jatu chit. That means you will not forget Krishna. Now what happens after you spend 3 hours here? Not even 3 hours. You know, when we're taking prasadam, we don't think of Krishna. When we are coming out of class, we don't think of Krishna. No. So here it says, please remember this. Smartavyaha Satatam Vishnu. Then Vismartavyaha na Jaduchit. Means don't always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. What are the 2 rules?
Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna.
Okay, so those who didn't say for the first time, please you say again now. First rule?
Always remember Krishna.
Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Now you will say, but you know, here there's so many rules and regulations. But then the second part covers that aspect. It says, Sarva vidhi nisedyoyor etayor eva kinkaraha. That means, sarve means all others. Vidhi nishedha. What is vidhi nishedha? Rules and regulations, do's and don'ts. All the other do's and don'ts are etayor eva kinkaraha. Kinkara means servant. So all the other rules and regulations are servant of these 2 rules. What are these 2 rules?
Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna.
Why are the ladies' voices always higher than men? Because they are observing correctly or no?
Because they are more.
Maybe not. More enthusiastic. So what is the first rule?
Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna.
Never forget Krishna. So this is where, when we take back this home, understand, yes, whatever I do, bhakti, bliss in bhakti, then when we remember this, everything else becomes Krishna conscious. So this is what it is, you know, always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Now, in the Nectar of Instruction, now just for you again, Nectar of Instruction is a book, very wonderful book. Maybe all of you have never heard of it, you should buy this book and read it. Only 11 verses. Only
11 verses.
Now, from the first verse till the 11th verse, you can go from the most basic aspect of bhakti to the highest aspect of bhakti. All the way from basic to Radha Kund. It's an amazing book. Now, do you know the history behind this book? No. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was about to leave the planet. He was going to fold his pastimes and go back. And he was in his ecstasy in Jagannath Puri, and he was reciting some very important verses. And one of his associates, Rupa Goswami was next to him, and he was noting down these verses. And this is the formation of the Upadeshamrita. Upadeshamrita means, Upadesh means instruction, and Amrita means nectar. The book is called Nectar of Instruction. And if I'm not mistaken, when Prabhupada printed this book for the first time, this is I'm talking about 1966, 67. Prabhupada said immediately print 100,000 copies. In those days ISKCON was not very big, but Prabhupada knew that this book is going to be like hot cake. 100,000 copies, and they were sold like in no time. So the 8th verse, you got this nectar of instruction, but the 8th verse is the sar, the essence of the instructions. So if you got your device, go on vedabase.io. Vedabase.io. Please do that. Even if the mind is saying no, the body is saying no, you might too much prasada, you feel like sleeping. Whatever the reason is, please do what I'm saying. Vedabase.io, yes? And if you don't have a device, you can share with someone else. Then there's a book called Nectar of Instruction. You got it? Nectar of Instruction. And then go on the verse 8. Verse number 8. So we're all there? Verse number 8. Nectar of Instruction. Verse number 8. This is what we call Upadesha Sar. That means essence of the essence of the essence of all the instructions. Yeah? So please repeat after me. Tannama Rupa Charitadi Sukirtanano.
Tannama Rupa Charitadi Sukirtanano.
Tannama Rupa Charitadi Sukirtanano.
Tannama Rupa Charitadi Sukirtanano.
Smrityo Kramena Rasana Manasi Niyojya.
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 Tishtan Vrajeta Dhanuragi Jananugami.
Tishtan Vrajeta Dhanuragi Jananugami.
Tishtan Vrajeta Dhanuragi Jananugami.
Tishtan Vrajeta Dhanuragi
Kalam Nayedakhilam Iti Upadesha Saram.
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 If one of you want to recite and you can follow. Ashia. Right? Maybe you can do together.
Tannama Rupa Charitadi Sukirtanano.
Tannama Rupa Charitadi Sukirtanano. Smrityo Kramena Rasana Manasi Niyojya.
Tishtan Vrajeta Dhanuragi Jananugami.
Tishtan Vrajeta Dhanuragi Jananugami.
Kalam Nayad Akhilam Iti Upadesha Saram.
Kalam Nayedakhilam Iti Upadesha Saram. Give a big hand. See, if you do it once or twice, then it's very easy. In the beginning, it might be a tongue twister, but then once you do it once or twice, you hear, you sing, it becomes very easy. Yeah? That's how old people like me learn. Tannama Rupa Charitadi Sukirtanano.
Tannama Rupa Charitadi Sukirtanano.
Smrityo Kramena Manasi Rasana Manasi Niyojya.
Smrityo Kramena Rasana Manasi Niyojya.
Tishtan Vrajeta Dhanuragi Jananugami.
Tishtan Vrajeta Dhanuragi Jananugami.
Kalam Nayedakhilam Iti Upadesha Saram.
Kalam Nayedakhilam Iti Upadesha Saram.
So here it is mentioned that one should utilize one's full time. Right? Full time means
24 hours.
24/7. Right? Not only 2 hours in a week, not only 3 hours in a week. Of course, we'll come to that. I'm not saying that we should, jump to that conclusion, no. But as I said, this will give us impetus. Wherever we are, if you're not chanting rounds, pick up a chanting bead, take a chanting bead from us, and chant one round every day. Because what's the point of coming here week after week after week and not taking anything home? Yeah, it's nice that you come here, we all come here, get together, and take spiritual life back to our house. Make our home a spiritual home. Like that. So then 24/7, of course we are not there at that time. We'll discuss that also. And what are we supposed to do in those 24/7?
Nicely
Chanting
And?
Krishna.
No, read from there. Chanting and?
remembering the thoughts.
Yes.
Remembering Lord's
Thereby?
divine name, form, qualities and pastime.
Thereby gradually.
Engaging one's tongue
and mind.
So what are the two things?
Tongue and mind.
So 24/7, tongue and mind. Can you repeat after me? 24/7,
24/7.
tongue
Tongue
and mind.
and mind.
Somehow or the other, we just heard Smartavya Satam Vishnu, Vismartavya na Jatuchit, right? Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. So with tongue and our minds, even if minds are going everywhere, we can still say Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. When you're walking, you're doing anything, yes. This way, now the three parts this works, right? First is engaging 24/7 our tongue and mind in thinking of Krishna, remembering Krishna's name, abode, form, pastimes, all those things, okay, fine. Then what's the next part? Questioning. In this way.
One should recite in worship and serve Krishna under the guidance of devotees.
So, are we reciting in Vrindavan? No. The name Brijban is very close to Vrindavan, but still not. But in consciousness we can become. Yeah, if we make our homes temple, when we chant, when we have books in the house, when we do everything, for Krishna, our home becomes Vrindavan. You go to any devotee's home, what is the first thing they expect you to do?
Pay obeisance to the deity.
Yes. What do you do in the Dham? We're all going to go to Vrindavan in Jaipur. And then Prabhupada said, you don't go by buying a plane ticket. You don't go by buying a train ticket. We have to prepare our consciousness to enter the holy Dham. Yeah? So normally what happens is, we have given the money to the organizers and then we demand, why this is not so good, the auto is not so good, why the bus didn't wait for me. All those things are there. No. The consciousness is there that I want to go there and visit the pastime places of Krishna, want to hear and chant along with the devotees. Nothing extraordinary is going to happen in Vrindavan. We are going to do the same thing what we are doing here. But the potency of the place is very, very amazing, very powerful. So when we go there and chant and hear, there it will be hard to forget Krishna. Here it is hard to remember Krishna, there will be hard to forget Krishna. Right? So then what is the third line? One should follow in the footsteps of the Lord's beloved devotees who are deeply attached to His devotional service. So for devotees who are new, what lesson can you get from this verse? Anyone?
Follow the senior devotee.
Okay. And then do what?
Chant.
Yes. So start chanting. For those who are new, you can start chanting every day. Right? Those who have been chanting for say 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, what message can you get from here? Louder, I can't hear. What message can you get from here if you're chanting for say 1 year, 2 years, 5 years maybe? What is the message? Think, read. Sorry, ma'am?
Do service.
Okay. Service is there, yes.
Use your mind.
Yes, very good. Use your mind, intelligence, do service. Yeah. And what else? So when we think of remembering Krishna, chanting our rounds, meditating on Krishna, that means for our situation here in Hare Krishna temple in Burbank, you can see that we can get engaged into so many things. Yeah? Renovation is happening, we can contribute here. The programs are happening, we can contribute there. We can take lead. Today we were looking for someone, we thought, okay, we can give the school children some awards or rewards every week, right? Yeah? We're looking for someone who can go out and buy those packets of ready-made rewards or make something. You can say, okay, I can do that. Some simple service like that. Anything simple. But when we get engaged in service, we actually are progressing and then we serve Krishna. So let's analyze this verse into 3 portions and then see how we can apply in our case. And I want volunteers for each one of them, yeah? Volunteers. Someone who doesn't speak normally. Someone who's shy. Someone who is, wants to be in the background. So first thing is, in this verse it says one should engage one's tongue and mind. Right? So someone who has been chanting for some time, how can you engage your tongue and mind more? Please tell me some practical solution. Maybe Ruchi?
Hearing as well.
Hear what? Hearing what?
Hearing, not just chanting, just hear as well.
Okay. But then again, how will you increase that?
Practice more, practice and
Okay. So practice more means more chanting?
yeah.
Take out time for more chanting. Somehow or the other, yeah? There's no pressure, no force. But if we can intelligently do that, all of us, devotees who have been chanting for 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years, they all have jobs, businesses, whatever they have, families, everything they have. But somehow or the other, they've used their intelligence, been in association with devotees, and they've increased the use of their tongue and mind in chanting and remembering Krishna. So first one is, ask yourself this question. How can I increase the use of my tongue and mind in remembering Krishna and chanting about Krishna? Can you do that? Very difficult? How many things you think is difficult? Please raise your hand. You think it's difficult? Okay, what's the difficulty? Can someone please? What's the difficulty?
The mind.
Okay. Okay, so the difficulty is the mind. When you're chanting or when you're not chanting? Okay, so when you're chanting, again try to hear yourself chant sincerely. But when you're not chanting, and some or the other with whatever else you're doing, keep chanting. Try that. Simple exercise for 1 week. Let's see what happens. Yeah? So increase the use of our tongue and mind. Second one is yes, reside in Vrindavan. So we can't reside in Vrindavan, what do we do? Reside in consciousness. Our consciousness should be in Vrindavan. Always think of Krishna, read about Krishna, hear about Krishna. So many. Yesterday I met someone who's a seeker, who's got everything at a young age, but still is thinking, okay, what's my life there for? There's no, purpose now. Whatever I wanted to achieve as a kid, I've achieved everything. So there's no purpose in life. So then I, spoke to him about accepting spiritual life, and then I told him practically here the seminars given by Keshav Maharaj are no excuses. Part 1, Part 2 and Part 3. So if you hear them, then you'll understand that there's no excuse for not taking up or for taking up spiritual life. Yeah? The second is we should reside in our consciousness in Vrindavan. What is the third one? Third one is the most important one for people who have been in the movement for a long, long time. Long time. Third one, what is the third one?
Serve under guidance of you. Serve under guidance of you.
Okay, that's important, but something specific here. Rupa Goswami says.
To follow in the footsteps of
Exactly.
Lord's beloved devotees.
Exactly. And who are those?
Deeply attached.
The Vrajavasis. So when, please hear carefully, devotees who have been practicing for a long time. Hare Prabhu in his podcast with Namaras on Raganuga Bhakti. We have Bhakti, Raganuga Bhakti. Right? But we cannot be just following procedures till next 50 lifetimes. No. Let's get serious in this life, and then once we start becoming serious in our chanting and in our services, then we have to understand which devotee in Vrindavan I should follow. And it's not artificial, it will come on its own. Let's not make it artificial that I want to follow Yashoda Maya or this and that. No, it will come automatically. Now you also ask me, how will I know? When will it come? Interestingly, our acharyas always speak, when they speak about knowing something, as to when should I know this, acharyas give an example of when a young boy and girl are small, right? They do not know anything about falling in love. But when they come of an age, automatically they will know that now I like this person, or I don't like this person, and I like this person. So that is automatic. No one is telling them from outside. So the way that happens, even in our bhakti, when we progress in our spiritual life, we should understand this is the devotee in Vrindavan or in Mayapur or in Jagannath Puri I want to follow. I have a god sister. She organizes all our parikramas and all that. And so Madhvananda Prabhu, scholarly disciple of His Holiness Gaur Govinda Maharaj, he was speaking, and he was speaking about Jagadananda Pandit. I'll go a little bit over, okay? So Jagadananda Pandit is someone who is an incarnation of Satyabhama. Now what is the quality of Satyabhama? Satyabhama gets angry at Krishna. Can anyone get angry at Krishna? No. But Satyabhama, because she is a queen of Krishna, how many queens are getting angry at the kings here? That's natural, right? So Queen Satyabhama, she gets angry at Krishna. That's her mood of getting angry at Krishna. And Jagadananda Pandit is incarnation of Satyabhama. So Jagadananda Pandit also gets angry at Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Madhvananda Prabhu said, I never could understand how can a devotee get angry at the Lord to your superior. And then he said, till the time I saw the interaction between Rasika Shiromani and my Guru Maharaj. So Rasika Shiromani is like fire. If things don't go according to what is in overall interest, she will even argue with my Guru Maharaj. So this is how a time will come when we will know who I am going to follow. So this is the three aspects of this verse. Engage your tongue and mind 24/7, reside in Vrindavan in consciousness, and follow devotees. Time will come, specific devotees in your life in Vrindavan. Now, for us, we can do two ways, simple ways. One is Nam Lo, and the other one is Nam Lo and then, yes. She's tired but she's intelligent. Nam Lo and Nam Do. Nam Lo means?
Chant.
Yes. And what is the meaning of Nam Do?
Preach.
What does Abhishek Prabhu do?
Harina.
Harina. So yes, our service, whatever we are doing, we take the holy name and we give the holy name. Everything what we are doing here, this revelation is happening, this temple is there, the children's classes are there, the story facilities, the festivals, artis, everything is there for us to chant, remember, meditate upon. As they say, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Nididhyasanam. Nididhyasanam means to meditate deeply upon the Lord, His name, the pastimes and all that. This is what we are supposed to do, my dear friends. Please don't think you come here 2 hours a week and then go back in your spiritual life. The progress will be very, very slow. It will almost be negligible, and then one day Maya will take over, you will never even know. So please, my humble request is, take it seriously. Take some message from here. Take chanting seriously. Read, hear, associate with devotees, serve, spread the holy name, do all these things. Bliss will come in that. The happiness of bhakti will come in that. Do you think Prabhupada was always happy? No. He was in anxiety a lot of times how to spread this movement in every town and village. But he used to say this is Krishna anxiety. And Krishna anxiety is better than non-material bliss. So we have to understand that yes, I want to take up anxiety upon myself. How can I do more and more and more and more? Now we'll come to a stage where we use those two verses, where Tivrena Bhakti Yogena. So which is the first verse which Sukadeva Goswami speaks to Parikshit Maharaj? He says, whatever desires you have. How many of us here, please raise your hand, and I'll count and I'll add total and make sure that all of us are raising our hands one part or the other. How many of us have got many desires, material desires? Okay, our Prabhu doesn't have many desires. In Hitesh, was this question, doesn't have many material. Yeah? We already have a BMW. No, okay, so we all have material desires. Some of us do not have any desires. Now, do not have any desires means that our desires are completely in line with Krishna's desires. Whatever Krishna wants, I will do that. And then third is, okay, maybe I don't have any desires, but I want to get liberated from this material world of birth and death. So the verse goes like this, it's 3 to 10, if I'm not mistaken. No, 2, 3, 10, sorry, 2, 3, 10, 2, 3, 10. 2, 3, 10. So anyone who's got the device, you can take out the verse. Now interestingly, 2, 3, 10, that's a very wonderful chapter, devotional service, Lord in the Heart. And the first verse, Sukadeva Goswami actually speaks to Parikshit Maharaj. He says that, Bharat Parikshit, as you've inquired from me, as to the duty of an intelligent man who is on the threshold of death. How many of us think we are on the threshold of death? Most of us don't behave like that, right? But if you understand, we are on the threshold of death anytime. Anytime it can happen. Yeah, so he says, as you asked me about this, I'm going to speak to you about that. And he gives exactly what you want, and you worship this Devata or Devi. But then, in the 10th verse, so 3 to 10, have you got it? Akama sarva kamo va. Akama sarva kamo va.
Akama sarva kamo va.
Moksha kama udaradi.
Moksha kama udaradi.
Moksha kama udaradi.
Moksha kama udaradi.
Tivrena bhakti yogena.
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 Yajeta purusham param.
Yajeta purusham param.
So he says here that a broad-minded or intelligent person with broad mind, whether he has all the material desires, whether he has no material desires, his desires are sync with Krishna's desires, or he wants moksha kama, he wants liberation. What should he do?
Must by all means worship the Supreme Lord.
Tivrena bhakti yogena. Tivra. Word tivra is used. When sunshine in summer is intense, the sun rays are intense. You stand there for a while and you get burnt. That much. Tivrena bhakti yogena. Tivra bhakti. Now right now we don't have that. But then, Sukadeva Goswami tells us, okay, you don't have any desires, you have all the desires, you have desire for liberation. Worship Krishna with as much intensity as you have. Tivrena bhakti yogena ajita purusham param. So we got that? It's our life in the beginning of spiritual life. Some of us have got many material desires. Some of us have got less material desires. Some of us, our desires are in sync with Krishna. Some of us want, for man, enough of family life, get out of it. Whatever moksha we want, worship Krishna with intensity, with whatever intensity we have. That is the first verse. Now when we progress in our spiritual life, then what's going to happen? Now Krishna uses, Sukadeva Goswami here in this verse 10, he says, Mokshakam udaradi. Udaradi means one who has a broader outlook. Udar means someone who is magnanimous, broader outlook. Yeah? Udar. Udar means I've got a big heart, big mind, and I want to give. So Udar means a person who's got broader outlook. So of course we know that someone who's worshipping Krishna has broader outlook. Like that. Then there's a nice verse, again using the phrase Tivrena Bhakti Yogena. But the context is absolutely different. Now fast forward your own spiritual life and you're progressing very nicely, one stage will come when this verse will apply to you, the second verse. Please, with folded hands, I request everyone, take spiritual life seriously and then see what bliss in bhakti you will experience. Canto number 3, verse number 2, chapter number 2, verse number 4. 3 to 4. 3 to 4. It was 2, 3, 10, now it's 3 to 4. Got it?
Yeah.
3 to 4? Yes. Samurtam abhuttushnim.
Samurtam abhuttushnim.
Samurtam abhuttushnim.
Samurtam abhuttushnim.
Krishnangri sudayabhrisham.
Krishnangri sudayabhrisham.
Krishnangri sudayabhrisham.
Krishnangri sudayabhrisham.
Then?
Nirvena bhakti yogena.
Bhakti yogena.
Nirvena bhakti yogena.
Nirvena bhakti yogena.
Nirvena bhakti yogena.
Nimagnaha sadhu nivritaha.
Nimagnaha sadhu nirvitaha.
Nimagnaha sadhu nivritaha.
Nimagnaha sadhu nirvitaha.
So this is the sloka which is spoken when Viduraji asks Uddhava about Krishna. And what happens to Uddhava is explained here very nicely. So this is Uddhava, is the condition of Uddhava is given. For a moment, he remained dead silent, and his body did not move. He became absorbed in the nectar of remembering the Lord's lotus feet in devotional ecstasy. And he appeared to be going increasingly deeper into that ecstasy. So this is the position of Uddhava when Vidura, of course, as we know in Mahabharata, who was the brother of Dhritarashtra, and Uddhava is cousin of Krishna. So at the end, Viduraji is meeting Uddhava, and before Krishna left this planet, Krishna gave the knowledge to Uddhava. So Viduraji is asking, okay, please speak me about Krishna. And then these are the series of very beautiful verses here which describe that for a moment he remained dead silent. So for a moment, what is the word used in Sanskrit for a moment? Sorry? Yes. What is the word?
Muhurtam.
And how much is a muhurtam? How long is a muhurtam?
A moment.
How long it is? 48 minutes. You know that, right?
What?
A muhurta is 48 minutes. Yes? Everyone knows. A muhurta is 48 minutes. When our day is divided into different muhurtas, each muhurta, we have good muhurta, auspicious muhurta for Karmakandi. We've got auspicious and inauspicious muhurta. So when we speak of muhurta, it's 48 minutes. So here it says, for a moment, he remained dead silent. So Uddhava, when he about just the name of Krishna, he became very silent. And his body did not move. This is the ecstasy which Uddhava is feeling when he just hears about Krishna. He became absorbed in the nectar of remembering the Lord's lotus feet in devotional ecstasy. And he appeared to be going increasingly deeper into that ecstasy. So imagine this position, for us who have been chanting for many, many years. We should not think that this is inachievable. So we cannot achieve this. No, we have to aim for something like this. Of course, for newcomers, we cannot be artificially imagining things. Even for people who have been in the moment, we cannot be artificially imagining these things. But scriptures are advising us, yes, this is our benchmark. So, we have got something to aim at. Imagine this ecstasy where Uddhava, when we just hear Krishna's names. We see so many of these leelas here. One of them was Pundarik Vidyanidhi. Pundarik Vidyanidhi was a big jamindar in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time. And, even though he was very rich, very opulent person, like such a big person, the servants used to fan him. But the moment he will see a peacock feather fan, he will faint. Because he's thinking of Krishna. So when we take up this process of chanting and remembering Krishna, the two aspects of Rasayana, this invigorating tonic of chanting and remembering, you'll experience this bliss in bhakti. And not only in the beginning, of course there will be anxieties. Do you think this renovation doesn't give any anxiety to Virat? He's got sleepless nights. When will this finish? When will we, able to have normal, nice program with facilities for the devotees who are coming? When will we collect the Lakshmi? When will we, do all these things? When will everything happen? There is anxiety there. But as Prabhupada said, Krishna anxiety is one which you want. Otherwise, it will be just a boring, mundane life. So this way we can experience bliss in bhakti. What's the time? Almost 7:30.
7.
So we understand that, this is not our comfort zone. Yes, we can be in the beginning in our comfort zone, but as we progress in spiritual life, we have to take more and more responsibilities. I was thinking that for 2026 and 2027, can we have an aim of what we call target 150? Now, target 150 means, we have, the devotees, the management team, then the garland team, then the pujari team, the youth, the children, the families, the people who are coming new. If you collect all of them, we should have at least 150 people. And in next 2 years, if we can focus on our spiritual lives, with as much attention possible to reading, chanting and hearing, associating with devotees only for service, associating for, more chanting, more hearing, deepening our sadhana, discussing with each other. If you don't have a Shiksha Guru, approach someone, who you want them to be your Shiksha Guru. Ask them about initiation. What can I do? How can I go deeper? How can I chant my more rounds? All these practical questions. It's very important. For everything else, we have a Guru. We have a Yoga Guru, we have a Stock Exchange Guru, we have Management Guru. Why not for the most important aspect of our life, spiritual life? We have a Shiksha Guru. We are all here to serve. And when we have this target 150, imagine in 2027 end, we'll have a wonderful group of 150 solid devotees. And then we can take the movement from here, outside, and then, make other places also successful like that. So we can enjoy the bliss in bhakti by having a proper, structured and targeted approach, both individually and collectively, like that. So thank you very much for hearing me patiently. Please forgive me if I've been a bit heavy or I've said something untoward. Any questions or comments? When there are no questions, it's not a nice sign. There has to be some questions. No questions at all? Okay. So, any announcements today? Okay. The feast was kindly sponsored by the temple today. And the wonderful cooks were Sundri Sita Mataji, Madhvi Mataji, Giraj Sham Prabhu, Rachi Mataji, Abhishek Prabhu, Kumar Prabhu, Gari Mataji, Shweta Mataji, Vishwanath Prabhu. So please give them a big Hare Bol. That was not very enthusiastic. We have to be enthusiastic about even glorifying the devotees. Come on, people.
Hare Hare
Next time cooks, I won't cook. That's the kind of response we get here. We have to be enthusiastic about spiritual life. We cannot just be, blasé or lethargic about these things. So Prabhupada ki Jai! Shri Radha Giriko Dhari ki Jai! So we'll rise for the Aarti and then blessing and prayer and then the Shobha Yatra. Hare Krishna.
His Grace Sakhi-Rai Prabhu ki
Jai!